Thank you. Thank you, folks, and welcome back to our program. We have quite a show for you here. Phoebe Cates, I was mentioned this earlier, in this month's issue of Bizarre Magazine, is on the top 10 list of the 10 most beautiful women in America. Any idea who else is on the list, Paul?
Do you have the list there?
I have it right here. I have the whole thing.
Let's hear it.
Take a guess. Who else would be on this list besides Phoebe Cates?
Alana Stewart. She there?
No, she's not on the list. One more. Take one more.
One more guess?
I don't think she's on the...
Joan Collins. Excuse me, sir. Just planning with the old professor there. Sorry about it.
What did you say? No, she's not on the list either. Candice Bergen is on the list. Lee Remick is on the list. Yeah.
But no one really as beautiful as, I think, your next guest.
Oh, she's terrific.
We've been looking at her. We can see her from where we are now. And
she's very young. Do you know how old this woman is?
Too young.
No, she's... All right, before we bring her out, I just want to announce that tonight's average audience height is 5'8". The average audience weight is 147 pounds. Congratulations, ladies and gentlemen. In the upcoming issue of Harper's Bizarre Magazine, right here, my next guest is called one of the 10 most beautiful women in America, and she has starred in such films as Paradise, Fast Times at Ridgemont High, the TV movie Lace, and most recently, Gremlins. It's a pleasure to welcome Phoebe Cates. Hi, Phoebe. How are you? Nice to see you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being here. It's quite an honor, I guess, huh?
Yeah, it's a real honor.
Yeah. You look very young in person.
Yeah, everybody says that.
Yeah, you look like, I don't know, 15, 16 maybe?
Well, yeah, maybe.
Yeah, and can we tell folks how old you actually are?
Yeah, I'm 21.
21 years old. Well, you know, I thought Fast Times at Ridgemont High was really a fine film.
Thank you.
Did you like the way it turned out?
I love the way it turned out.
Yeah, I thought it was really nice, very entertaining, and it had some really nice parts to it, and I thought you were very good in it.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. Now tell me about Paradise. This is a movie. I saw Lace, I saw Ridgemont High, and I saw Gremlins. I have not seen Paradise. Tell me about that movie.
Let's see. Actually, it was the first movie that I made.
Yeah.
And I was 17 when I made it, and it was a love story that took place in the desert.
Uh-huh. Was this like the other one that they keep mentioning, the Paradise, and the other one, the Blue Lagoon?
Mm-hmm.
But it was in a desert.
Right.
Yeah. Were there other similarities?
Yeah.
And what were the other similarities?
Well, basically, it was a lot like the Blue Lagoon.
Yeah. Now, did you like that film as well?
Well, actually, when I took it, it was my first, it was my first offer ever, and it was the lead in this feature. So it was fun to do, and I wasn't hestant about taking it.
I'm sorry.
But now it's a little uncomfortable to look back upon.
Oh, really? It is uncomfortable?
Yeah,
I didn't realize that. But again, it was your first film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it did help me to get started.
Yeah. Now, in Fast Times at Ridgemont High, there's a little bit of nudity in it. I mean, you're nude for a little bit in there, aren't you?
Yeah, topless.
Topless. It's a...
Thank you.
It's a terrific scene, by the way, but it's... What was that? Now, for a person so young, was that a difficult decision to make, that you'd say, okay, I'll do this now?
Nope.
Really?
It was fun. It was. That scene actually was fun. Paradise, there was a lot of scenes that were uncomfortable.
You were nude in that film also?
Yes.
Yeah. Now, at 17, that seems like it would even be more of a difficult decision to make.
That was more difficult, but with Fast Times, it was justified, and it was very in character, and it was fun. I liked the scene.
In this movie you mentioned, it was a fantasy, right, that this guy was having?
Right.
Now, at 17, what do you tell your parents?
Well, they saw the movie.
No, I know, but ahead of time, do you talk it over with your mom and your dad and say, look, I'm going to be undressed in this movie Paradise?
Well, actually, my father had read the script.
Yeah.
And he said, well, you know, if you want to do it, you can do it.
Yeah.
You know.
And that was it?
That was it.
No other problems?
No.
Okay. Now, Gremlins. Now, I saw this movie a couple of months ago.
Yeah.
Now, this is a huge hit, isn't it? Billions and billions of dollars.
Yeah, it's doing very well.
Now, I got to ask you two things about the movie that I thought were interesting, or I thought strange. Not strange, but, you know, pick another word. Was the movie originally supposed to be out around Christmas time?
No, I think it was always going to come out during the summer.
Oh, okay. Now, and secondly, there's a part in there where you're talking about your father having died in the chimney of your house.
Right.
Now, was that a joke?
Well, I must admit, the first time that I read the script and I got to that part, I said, no, this must be just like a little joke that they're playing on me. But then I actually had to do it. Yeah.
So, well, I guess everybody has seen the movie, but you're very unhappy at Christmas time. And then later it turns out in the movie that the reason you're unhappy is because your father disappeared on Christmas Eve, right?
Yeah.
And then like 2 weeks later, you noticed this odd smell in the house.
Right.
And it turned out it was Dad decomposing in the chimney.
Yeah. It's very sad.
It's terribly sad, but when I heard that, I started to laugh. I thought, oh, this is a joke.
Yeah. No, I mean, I pretty much had to, the way I played it was just to believe that it happened.
Oh, yeah, you were terribly upset about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, all right. We got to do a commercial. We'll be back, folks. Phoebe Cates and I will be right back. Phoebe Cates is here. This is some unbelievable company that you found yourself in on this list of 10. Let me go ahead and quickly name the rest of the folks. Kate Capshaw. You mentioned her, right?
Mm-hmm. I used to babysit for her daughter.
Yeah. Kate Capshaw. Jacqueline Bissett.
Mm-hmm.
Did you babysit for her?
No.
All right. Linda Evans. Anne Margaret. Yeah, I think Candace Bergen. Very nice choices. Sigourney Weaver. Yeah, terrific. Well, this is very nice for you. Lee Remick, Bernadette Peters, Phoebe Cates. The audience making up their own list. Christy Brinkley. Yeah, have I got them all? Yeah, that's it. Well, again, congratulations. Now, you and I just talked during the commercial. When I said Fast Times at Ridgemont High was a fine film, the audience started to snicker. And I said to you, why did they start to laugh when I said that? And tell them what you said.
I said I think it was your choice of words, because you said it was a fine film.
Yeah. And you're well, I admit it. When I saw the film, I enjoyed it a great deal. But you think it may not have been a fine film.
Yeah.
But it's a really good film, don't you think?
Yeah, I think it's a really good, entertaining
Yeah, well,
film.
that's all. That's what I meant by it, and I still think it was a fine film. Anyway, now how did you like working with the puppets in Gremlins?
That was fun.
Yeah?
Yeah, it got tedious sometimes because, you know, like in the bar scene.
Where you were tending bar and they were out of control?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that took 3 days to shoot.
How many actual puppets were in there?
Well, they had several. They had about 30 different gremlins.
Yeah.
But in that scene, I just worked with the ones at the bar, so I guess there were about 6 or 7.
Yeah. And
then there were the 100 crew members behind that were throwing things.
Uh-huh. That happens here on occasion. Is that for an actress really difficult to have to act when it's puppets and stuff?
Well, that movie in particular was just, you know, I mean, I knew that's what it was about, and not really. It was pretty easy.
Yeah. When you go out in public now, do people hound you and follow you and come up to you on the streets and stuff?
Sometimes, yeah.
And do you like that?
So long as they don't touch me.
Well, see, I think that's a felony. I think that you're probably right. They shouldn't be touching you. Does it happen a lot?
Where people touch me?
No, when people come up to you.
Oh, where people come up to me? Yeah, pretty often.
Yeah, and what do you say to them? What do they say to you? What do you say to them?
They just ask me, you know, silly questions. They ask for an autograph or something.
Yeah. Do you sign autographs? Do you mind doing that?
Yeah, I sign them.
Yeah. And it makes you feel good to know that folks like your work?
Yeah, it does.
That was a stupid question. I could hear that as it was coming out of my head. I thought, this is really a stupid question. And there was nothing I could do about it at that point. It had already passed my teeth. Well, Phoebe, what do you got coming up?
I don't know yet.
Yeah.
My play is they've asked us to go to Washington to play the Kennedy Center.
Yeah. What is the play?
It's The Nest of the Wood Grouse.
I think I did that in high school. Well, good luck with you in The Nest of the Wood Grouse, and you got a wonderful long career ahead of you. And thank you very much for being here.
Thank you.
Nice meeting you, Phoebe.
Nice meeting you too.
We're going to go away for station identification. We'll be right back.
He really takes the cake. Where? Where do you take a cake? To the movies? You know where I would take a cake? Down to the bakery to see the other cakes. And hey, how come he takes the cake? How come you don't take the pie? Pie is easier to carry than a cake. Easy as pie. Hold on, cake is not too hard to carry either. Piece of cake. Fine and dandy. That's an old-fashioned one, isn't it? Say to a guy, how are ya? She's fine and dandy. Not me. I never say that. You know how come? 'Cause I'm never both of those things at the same time. Sometimes I'm fine, not dandy. Close to dandy, approaching dandy, in the vicinity of dandyhood. Not quite fully dandy. Other times, I am indeed highly dandy. However, not fine. One time, 1968, August, for about an hour, I was both fine and dandy at the same time. But nobody asked me how I was. Here's another one, the Riot Act. The Riot Act. They keep telling you they're going to read that to you. Have you heard this thing at all? Especially when you're a kid, they like to threaten you. You wait till your father comes home, he's going to read you the Riot Act. Tell him I already read it myself. And I didn't like it either. I consider it wordy and poorly thought out. He wants to read me something. How about the Gentleman's Guide to the Golden Age of Tongue Kissing? One more of these. More than happy. How about you say that sometimes, don't you? Once in a while, don't you say to somebody, oh, I'd be more than happy to do that. How can you be more than happy? To me, this sounds like a dangerous mental condition. We had to put Steve in the mental home. He was, whoa, more than happy. There you go.
Nice job. Good to see you again. We'll be right back here with George Carlin. George Carlin is here. Nice job, George.
Thank you.
Very funny as always.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for being here. How you doing? Everything going all right?
Doing pretty well. You know, I turned 60 about a month ago.
Congratulations.
60, and
good for you.
they always do that. People always applaud because you're still alive. It's good. But oddly enough, I've started ovulating again, Dave. I have, yes, and lactating.
Well,
So
That could be a deadly combination.
Yeah, I do like to announce these things on your show.
But you know, you're always working, which is
Yeah.
great. I mean, I think that's
Yeah.
one of the keys to staying young.
Absolutely, and staying healthy, and I'm working right this minute.
Right, sure. Yeah.
I mean, as pleasant a fellow as you are, this is still work. I'm getting paid for this.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, and you're not going to snap tonight, are you? Something like that?
No.
No, because I keep reading these articles. People think you're
I
going to
could.
snap.
You just never know. I might snap. Yeah.
Snap on your own time, okay, Dan? On the way home. I'm sure you'll be okay.
But you mentioned that you're 60 years old,
Yeah.
and
well, I got a few things, in fact, I've been working on.
really.
Well, I always, some of these things that are so new, one has to commit them to paper instead of memory.
Right.
But these are things I've been working on. You call me silly, Dave. Call me silly. But I've always wanted to try to come up with a personal ad for the newspaper that no one would answer.
Oh yes, excellent challenge.
That you would
Sure.
absolutely get no replies.
No response, no interest whatsoever.
And I think I have it.
Oh, good. All right.
Elderly, accident-prone, severely depressed alcoholic coal miner, interested in Canadian food and Norwegian folk dancing, seeks wealthy, attractive, sexually starved, well-built woman in her late teens, must be non-smoker. I think that might work.
I think that comes pretty close.
No mailman ever. And the other thing, and
You have another project that you're working
and you'll
on?
understand why these had to be committed
Yeah,
to paper.
sure.
Always been trying to come up with a single sentence that would contain, or at least refer to, all of the 7 deadly sins.
One sentence referencing each of the 7 deadly sins.
Right,
Yeah.
and
that's never been done, I don't think.
No, and not in any of the religion books I mentioned or read. We want to remember the 7 deadly sins, by the way, just for reference here: greed, anger, pride, lust, gluttony, sloth, and envy. So here's my sentence.
Okay.
I'm really angry that I, a superior human being in every way, have less money than my neighbor, whose wife I would love to nail if only I weren't so busy sleeping and eating pork chops. That might have worked. I think I got it.
Is eating pork chops? I'm sorry.
Gluttony.
Oh, gluttony.
Yeah.
But they don't single out pork chops.
No, but one has to be specific in comedy.
See, well, I think you've come very close on both counts there.
Yeah.
Nice going. But your career has been so successful. When you look back, you're a man who's worked like 3 decades or longer.
It's actually 4. This is my 40th year in comedy, 20 years on HBO, and 60 years roaming around unattended in the environment. And now that I'm 60, there's something I'd like to announce or ask. It's sort of a request plus an announcement. From now on, I would like to be known by a different name.
Really?
If it's okay.
Sure.
Yeah. I would like from now on for people to call me Cannonball.
Yeah. Cannonball Carlin.
Cannonball Carlin.
It has a nice
And it's not asking a lot. It's not asking a lot.
I think not. No, absolutely.
An occasional hi, Cannonball.
Yeah.
Hey, Cannonball, how's it going? Maybe even Dave, yo, Cannonball, what'd it be like? I might just get that. We'll see.
Now,
Aren't you nice? Aren't you nice?
do you have any regrets, Cannonball?
No. Well, perhaps a few. May I say also, being 60, because I want to slip this into a lot of people, now that I'm really kind of a really big figure in Hollywood, kind of a Hollywood figure.
Powerful man in Hollywood.
Yes, powerful man, megastar. Have you noticed the word star evolved? First, star was okay. Clark Gable was a star, didn't bother him.
No.
Then there were too many stars, and they had to come up with superstar. Michael Jackson's a superstar.
That's right, sure.
Too many superstars now. Megastar. So now that I'm at this stage, people ask me, now that you're 60, are you going to get any plastic surgery? Because this is the big thing out there. And I had a little on my nose. I had an automobile accident. I've had a little sort of like medical plastic surgery.
You just look to me like a man who has lived life.
Lived life and don't need a lot of fixing, except I am thinking of having my handwriting altered surgically. They do this by shortening your fingers. Have you heard of this?
No, it's
It's
fairly new.
It's fairly new. They take off several centimeters of finger, and it alters how you hold the pen. And what really is good about it, first of all, it freezes your current autographs at their present value forever.
Because You can
there
never
are no more of them.
duplicate it.
That's
That's
right.
right, sure.
And your new ones, because there are none yet,
Right.
worth a fortune.
Wow.
Isn't that great? Because anything that there is nothing of is worth a lot. I think you know that.
Oh,
Plastic surgery. I had another plastic surgery thing, and I can't. Oh, I know what it was. I'm thinking, just thinking of this, going to the plastic surgeon and asking him to give me a puzzled look. Wouldn't that be good? You know, to go in the office and just say to him, "Doctor, can you make me look like this permanently?"
I don't know. I'm not sure.
Is that it?
I'm not sure that's puzzlement.
Isn't puzzlement?
I'm not sure.
I better check.
It might be.
I wouldn't want to get it and have the wrong look.
No. Go through the catalog.
Yeah. Do they have that?
Oh, yeah.
Perplexed. Maybe that's closer to perplexed.
Now, your book is doing pretty well. The
Book is doing, I'm so happy. It's number 9 on the next New York Times list that comes out. And just if I can make a little descriptive plug, it's not an autobiography or a memoir. It is a lot of comedy stuff.
Right.
And only 2 things are from the past that people might know. Just 2 things from the past. One is stuff, a place for my stuff, and the other is baseball and football. Everything else is brand new.
Right. Great.
Yeah.
Now, you were to be with us, I believe, about 6 weeks ago.
That's right.
And as everyone knows by now, you suffered a great loss in your life.
Yeah.
Your wife died.
Yeah.
First of all, I would like to thank you for coming back after the ordeal. And just you seem to be doing very well. I hope you are.
Well, Kelly and I, my daughter, you know, you bang back and forth between reason and emotion. You're using your mind. You're away from it a while, then you hit it again.
Sure.
So, you know, it's the normal life. Up, down, left, right,
That's
forward
right.
and back.
And, of course, we'll be with you forever now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Right.
Best partner anyone could have had, Brenda.
But you're doing well.
Thank you, I am.
Good, sir.
Yes.
Pleasure to see you.
Thank you very much.
George Carlin, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be right back. So we'll check in on those gentlemen from time to time. That's a nice story. I've been cutting Walter's hair for 30 years there at the Beverly Hilton Hotel. Our first guest is a legendary comedian and the author of this best-selling book right here. It's called Brain Droppings, which was recently published in the very popular paperback format. Do me a favor, ladies and gentlemen. Please welcome the always entertaining George Carlin. George.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Well, I appreciate that. Thank you very much, and how do you do? I'm here tonight to talk about sports. To my way of thinking, there are only 3 sports in this country: baseball, basketball, and football. Everything else is a game or an activity. Nothing else qualifies as a sport as far as I'm concerned. Hockey comes to mind. People think hockey is a sport. Hockey is not a sport. Hockey is 3 activities going on at the same time: ice skating, playing with a puck, and beating the crap out of somebody. But these people, if they had any imagination, they would do these things one at a time. First, you go ice skating, then you play with a puck, then you go to the bar and beat the crap out of somebody. Another reason hockey is not a sport: it's not played with a ball. Anything that isn't played with a ball can't be a sport. Hockey is played with a puck. What is a puck? I never heard of a puck outside of hockey. Have you ever heard of a puck? The only place you see a puck outside of hockey is in the urinal in the men's room to control the odor. Yes. And as far as I'm concerned, any game where the main object came out of the men's room definitely is not a sport. Soccer is not a sport because you can't use your arms. Anything where you can't use your arms can't be a sport. Tap dancing isn't a sport. I rest my case. Running. People think running is a sport. Running is not a sport because everybody can do it. I can run. You can run. My mother can run. You don't see her on the cover of Sports Illustrated, do you? People say, I'm going to run down to the store and buy a loaf of bread. Fine. It's not a sport. I'm not going to pay money to watch you buy a loaf of bread. Swimming. Swimming is not a sport. Swimming is a way to keep from drowning. That's just common sense. Right. Another water activity, sailing. Sailing is not a sport. Sailing is a way to get somewhere. Riding a bus isn't a sport. Why in hell should sailing be a sport? And boxing. Boxing is definitely not a sport. Boxing is a way to beat the crap out of somebody. In that respect, boxing is a more sophisticated form of hockey. But beating the crap out of someone is definitely not a sport, in spite of what the police think. When police brutality becomes an Olympic event, fine, then boxing can be a sport. Bowling is not a sport because you have to rent the shoes. All right? Don't forget. Right. These are my rules. I make them up. Billiards is not a sport. Billiards is not a sport because there's no chance for serious injury. Unless you welch on a bet in a tough neighborhood. Then, if you see someone with a pool cue sticking out of this portion of his anatomy, you know that might just be a sports-related injury. All right? Gymnastics. Gymnastics is not a sport because Romanians are good at it. Don't forget, my rules, I make them up. Polo. Polo is not a sport. Polo is golf on horseback. Interesting concept, not a sport. And water polo, I don't even want to talk about water polo because it's extremely cruel to the horses. Which brings me to hunting. You think hunting is a sport? Ask the animals. The only good thing about hunting is the many accidents that take place on the weekends. Which brings me to auto racing. Now we're talking serious injury, folks. I don't know about you, but that's what I'm looking for in auto racing, a nice crash and a car fire. Hey, I don't care who wins these races. It's the same 5 rednecks who win them all the time anyway. What do I care? I don't care. I don't care. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to be honest with you. Driving 500 miles in a circle does not impress me. Then we have tennis. Tennis. Tennis is very trendy. It's not a sport. Tennis is actually a form of ping pong. In fact, tennis is ping pong played while standing on the table. All of these sports. Yes. As a matter of fact, all racket sports are derivatives of ping pong. Even volleyball is racketless team ping pong played with an inflated ball in a raised net while standing on the table. Which leaves us with golf. Golf. You ever watch golf on television? It's like watching flies fornicate. Frankly, I get more excited picking out socks. Golf might be a fun thing to do if you could do it alone, but it's these insufferable nitwits you have to hang around with that makes it such an appalling pastime. Think of the brains it takes to play golf. Think of this. Here's the object. You hit a ball with a crooked stick, and then you walk after it. And then you hit it again. I say pick it up, put it in your pocket, and get the hell home. You're lucky you found it in the first place.
George Carlin. All right. Nice going, buddy.
Okay.
We'll be right back. Nice job.
Hey,
we'll be right back with George Carlin. Hotel there in Beverly Hills. It's a pretty good gig for Walter. He goes in there, gets his hair washed, and he's on TV at the same time.
Can't beat that with a beating machine.
How you doing? Nice to see you again.
I'm doing very well, thanks. I had my did my annual physical.
Oh, good.
They found a spot on my lung. Oh. Fortunately for me, barbecue sauce.
Oh, that's great.
But I'm feeling pretty good. I finished a chapstick this week. And I always feel good when the little nub won't go in anymore, keeps falling out. Then I know I've done my work. Yeah. But I'm doing pretty good.
Now, you mentioned sports. By the way, it's very, very funny, the discussion of sports. Now, is there any sport that you play or follow?
I don't play anymore. I played basketball. You ever hear of the St. Louis Pimps? That was us. Yeah.
No, I never.
Know what our colors were? Flesh tone and green. And I was good. They retired my jersey, actually.
Is that right?
Yeah, well, for sanitary purposes.
I see.
But they put it up on the rafters just so no one would have to get too close to it, you know? But I'm convinced to this day, though, that if I'd have been a lot taller, a lot stronger, and a lot faster, and been able to shoot the ball a whole lot better, I could have been a decent player. Trouble was...
so close.
Oh, yeah. Trouble was I wasn't fast.
Yeah.
Just wasn't my... You know who was fast? My brother, D'Artagnan. I've told you about him.
Yeah.
Fast. He was so fast, one time in a football game, he blocked a kickoff.
Wow.
Yeah, that's Speedy.
Is
Speedy guy.
that legal? I don't think I've ever seen that.
No, it's not legal. He found that out. You know,
I've never seen
but he was
that done.
enthusiastic.
Oh,
enthusiastic,
sure, yeah, starting off the game like that.
So that's about the history of my
Have you been watching the NBA Finals?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fun. I like people under pressure. And, but you see the games and you realize they could improve these games. Just a few little rules changes. For instance, I would have a 2-second shot clock. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just bang.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, speed the game up. As soon as the ball's inbound, get that sucker up in the air. I don't think professional ball players should need 24 seconds to figure out a shot. You know what I mean?
I mean, we all know where it's going.
That's right.
Exactly.
Another thing I would do in basketball, at the center court line, for 10 feet on either side of the center court line, I would have a gasoline fire. Wouldn't that be good? Yeah. Yeah.
You talk the whole game?
Yes, the whole game. You talk about the fast break. This is the really fast break.
Yeah.
Here's something else. You know how sometimes these games get one-sided in the fourth quarter,
sure.
18 points difference? I would allow 25 points for any ball that goes in the basket off an opponent's head. Yeah, you'd see some good fistfights in those one-sided games.
That's a 25-point shot.
Yes.
Wow.
And you'd increase the chance for serious injury.
Yeah.
Which is what I like. I like penalties, injuries, and fights. That's why I'm looking. If I want to see winners, I'll watch the Oscars. You know what I mean? What else? Oh, another thing in basketball, I would allow 30, maybe 40, somewhere between 30 and 40 personal fouls.
So just a fist fight all
Once
night
again,
long.
increase the chances of serious injury. Football, I have a good idea for football. I think all 45 players should be allowed to play at the same time. You know? Just let them get in there. What's this stuff standing around watching the game? Put on a helmet, get in there, and hurt someone. You know what I mean? Here's another thing. In football, I would leave the injured on the field. Yes. Leave them out there. Well, you know.
Play around them?
Play around them.
They'd be in play.
They'd be in play.
Yeah.
And, they're always talking about how it's a big war going on out there. Fine, let the Red Cross come around and pick these people up. Another thing I would do in football, I would allow the winning team to spike the losing coach.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, after the Gatorade bath,
That'd
then the losers get a chance.
Dump him on his head.
Just bounce that sucker,
This, George, this book now out in paperback, which means to me that you want to make all the money because I know the hardbound copy did incredibly well, didn't it?
It did. 360,000 hardcover. I'm really happy to say that.
Nice going,
and
buddy.
it's coming back. Get this. Father's Day. Good Father's Day gift, Dave. Yeah.
It's good to see you again.
Thank you.
Have a lovely spring and a great summer. Come back, get a haircut someday.
I'll get a haircut and I'll do a stand-up for you.
George Carlin, ladies and gentlemen. Our first guest is a big star in the world of comedy. He's been doing stand-up for 40 years, and it's an amazing accomplishment and quite a record. And recently, he has released this 7-disc box set entitled George Carlin, The Little David Years. Here he is, ladies and gentlemen, George Carlin.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you very much, Dave. I don't talk about myself on these shows very much, but I had a traffic accident last week that I think I ought to tell you about. And there are a couple of things about me you got to know before I begin. I drive kind of recklessly. I take a lot of chances. I don't repair my vehicle, and I don't believe in traffic laws. So over the course of time, I tend to have quite a high number of traffic accidents. And last week, I either ran over a sheep or I ran over a small man wearing a sheepskin coat. And I don't know because I didn't stop. I do not stop when I have a traffic accident. Do you? Do you? No, you can't. You can't. Hey, who has time? Huh? These days, who has time? Not me. I hit somebody, I run somebody over, I keep moving. Especially if I've injured someone. I do not get involved in that. I'm not a doctor. I've had no medical training. I'm just another guy out driving around looking for a little fun, and I can't be stopping for everything. Well, let's just look at it logically. Just be logical about it. If you do stop at the scene of the accident, all you do is add to the confusion. These people you ran over have enough troubles of their own. without you stopping and making things worse. They've just been in a major traffic accident. The last thing they need is for you to stop and get out of your car and go over to the fire, because by now it is a fire, and start bothering them with a lot of stupid questions. Are you hurt? Well, of course they're hurt. Look at all the blood. You just ran over them with 1.5 tons of steel. Of course they're hurt. Leave these people alone. Haven't you done enough? At long last, haven't you done enough? For once in your life, do the decent thing. Don't get involved. Keep moving. Well, in the first place, it's none of your business. Simple as that, none of your business. The whole thing took place outside of your car. Legally speaking, that's right. That's true. That's right, thank you. Legally speaking, these people you ran over were not on your property at the time you ran them over. They were standing in the street that is city property. You are not responsible. They don't like it? Let them sue the mayor. Besides, it happened back there. It's over now. Stop living in the past. Do yourself a favor. Yes. Count your blessings, be glad it wasn't you. And I'll give you a practical reason not to stop. Do you need a practical reason? If you do stop, sooner or later the police are going to show up. Is that what you want? Huh? Waste even more of your time standing around, filling out forms, answering a lot of pointless questions? And by the way, who are you to be taking up the valuable time of the police department? These men and women are professionals. They're supposed to be out fighting crime. Stop interfering with the police. You're obstructing justice. And besides, didn't anyone else see this accident? Huh? Are you the only one who can provide information? Surely the people you ran over caught a glimpse of it at the last moment, don't you think? So let them tell the police what happened. They were a lot closer to it than you were. There's no sense having two conflicting stories floating around about the same dumbass traffic accident. Things are bad enough, people are dead, families have been destroyed, time to get moving. You're probably late for dinner as it is. Now, let me say, on the other hand, if I should be out driving around looking for a little fun, and I see a traffic accident, one that I'm not involved in, I stop immediately. Well, I want to get a good look at what's going on. I enjoy that sort of thing. Someone else is injured, I want to take a look. I am Curious George. People don't like that. Police don't like it, you know. They say you're rubbernecking, say you're blocking traffic. Never mind that crap. I want to take a look. I'm never too busy that I can't stop to enjoy someone else's suffering. And I'll tell you something else. Thank you. Thank you. I'll tell you something else, and you might not like this, but as far as I'm concerned, the bigger the accident, the better it is. Well, I'm looking for a little entertainment. You know my favorite accident? 2 buses and a chicken truck. Get hit by a circus train in front of a flea market. Well, I want to see something interesting. I'm looking for a freak show. I want to see a neck sticking out of a gas tank. If I'm going to take the time to stop, I expect to be entertained. Let me say this. If I happen to be in such a position in my car where I can't quite see what's going on, can't get a good look, I'm not the least bit shy about asking the police to bring the bodies over a little closer to the car. That's what they're here for, to protect, to serve, and to bring the bodies over a little closer to the car. Pardon me, officer, would you mind bringing that twisted chap over a little closer to the car, please? My wife has never seen anyone shaped quite like that. Look at that, honey. That's his rib cage sticking out of the glove compartment. Thank you, officer. That will be enough. Well, you can throw him back on the pile. We'll be moving along. And off I go out onto the highway looking for a little fun. Perhaps a tanker truck filled with toxic waste will explode in front of the Pokemon factory.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be right back to visit with our friend George Carlin. All right, George Carlin, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, tell me about Tell me about Thanksgiving experiences you've had. Anything, is it pretty much just everybody's Thanksgiving, or you do unconventional kind of things?
Well, we don't have turkey anymore.
Really?
No, we got a little tired of that.
Yeah.
Last year we had a stork.
Stork?
Stork is good. The year before that, an ostrich.
Oh, yeah.
And the trouble is, two problems with the ostrich. It takes about 200 or 300 pounds of stuffing and about 6 or 8 people to break the wishbone. But it makes a hell of a noise. And we just enjoy it.
Well, the noise, that's festive in its own right.
Boom!
Yeah, it's time to eat.
Yeah.
Do you, as a kid growing up, do you have a certain memory that you like?
Well, my favorite Thanksgiving story is about my favorite uncle, Uncle George, the one I was named after.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. I had a lot of uncles. I didn't know my father at all. This is all true stuff, kind of punched up for comedy, but I didn't know my father. When I was about 2 months of age, he was asked to leave.
Really?
Yeah, he apparently didn't metabolize ethanol very successfully. So he was asked to leave when I was 2 months. I believe he came back once when I was 7, but it was merely because he'd forgotten his hat. So I got to know my uncles. Very well. And on Thanksgiving, they would all come over and pretty much drink themselves into a stupor, you know. Uncles and aunts. Nobody metabolized anything rather well in my family. Aunt Edith was especially impressive. She would always bring 2 bottles of wine. One for herself and the other one for herself. So I got to know my uncles pretty well, except for George. Yeah. They didn't talk about George. George was one of those uncles they don't talk about. Seems that George was in the custody of other people. So I got to be about 8 or 9 years old, and I got curious. I am Curious George. I got curious, and I said, okay, folks, what's the deal on Uncle George? Where is he? And they sat me down, they said, George is in the nut house.
Oh.
They didn't pull punches in our family. We didn't say mental hospital, psychiatric facility, nut house. I personally have always preferred the term hoo-hoo hotel, which I think you'd like. Yes. I think, yes. I think my aunt tried to soften the blow. She said George does not have both feet in the end zone. So I understood.
The pros.
But I'll tell you what happened to him. It was a very simple story. He was about 18 or 19 years old, and he took off all his clothes. Unfortunately, he was not home at the time. He was on the 59th Street crosstown bus. And he didn't bother anybody, just took off his clothes, probably folded them neatly. Right. And they told him, at that time, by the way, it wasn't really a bus, it was a trolley, so he had the distinction of being one of the few people who was both on his trolley and off his trolley at the same time.
Yeah.
So they told him, they said, don't do that, George, don't do that. And he said, oh, okay. And what do you know, next day, did it again.
Oh, no.
Yeah, same clothes, different trolley. Right. And they put him up in Orangeburg.
Did they ask him why? What was he?
No, I don't think they asked that in those days. I think he just went up to Orangeburg. Orangeburg, New York.
He was just looking to make friends as well?
Well, he was a friendly guy. I think so, yes. It might have been comparative anatomy, for all I know. Who knows? Might have been going to ask someone else to do the same thing next. But he wound up in Building 17 at Rockland State Hospital.
I'm sorry.
Well, it was okay. Yeah. Because toward the end, they let him come home. Toward the end of his days up there. He was doing pretty well. They said, he still has one wheel in the sand, but he's doing pretty well. So we'll let him come home.
Yeah, that's good.
And he came home on Thanksgiving, and he was sitting next to me, naturally. Birds of a feather. Put him next to me. I think the theory for letting him home was that his condition would go largely unnoticed in a family like mine. And right in the middle of Thanksgiving dinner, he leans over to me. And I didn't notice anything wrong with him, by the way. He came home, he painted pictures, he played the piano, he smoked a lot of wing cigarettes. And I didn't notice anything wrong. I didn't know why he was away. So until Thanksgiving dinner. He leaned over to me at one point, and they're just doing the normal things, congratulating each other on the mashed potatoes. And he leaned over to me, covered his mouth, and he said, I'm an admiral. Oh. And I was impressed because, first of all, well, I didn't even know they had a Navy in Orangeburg, for one thing. And truly, I was impressed and I was pleased because, not that he was an admiral, I knew he was really a nut. Yeah. That kind of made me happy. So that's sort of my pointless Thanksgiving story.
Let's talk about the box here of comedy. What this represents stuff that has been released on previous records, stuff that has never been released.
Well,
right?
there's one.
Oh, look at that! You get the thing. You get your mouth opening.
Lenticular. There are 6 albums there.
Wow.
6 albums.
Now that right there is entertainment.
Isn't that nice? You know it. I did 6 albums in the 1970s, and 4 of them were gold albums, and the other 2 I think aluminum, perhaps lead, I'm not sure. Some non-ferrous metal. And we put them all in here with the original artwork. That's what I love. I know that a lot of re-releases, they put it in a jewel box, but these are actually like the old albums. They fold out, they have the same sleeves in them, everything. But the 7th disc in here is my pride and joy. It's a bonus disc. Gotta have a bonus, Dave. This has a lot of things that, an hour's worth, hour and 10 minutes of things that were never on records before. Didn't make it. You could only get 45 minutes on an LP. So we put them all, Atlantic and I, we put them all on these. So it's a lot of things for people who are real nuts and fans, you know, let them hear those things. And included are childhood tapes that I made. I used to go to the little booths around here in 42nd Street.
Make your own little records?
Make my own record for a quarter. You put it in, you talk for a minute. And they're on there.
So we have a collection then of you from what age to the present day? From what?
Technically speaking, from about 11 up until the late 70s, actually. It cuts off there.
Right. So a good part of your life is represented here in this collection.
That's right. Even my disc jockey theme song is on there.
Excellent.
God.
Good for you. Thank you very much, George.
Thank you, Dave.
Nice piece of work. Congratulations.
Thank you, man.
George Carlin, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be right back with Jewel.
Thank you.
Our first guest is a 3-time Grammy Award winner, a best-selling author, and a bona fide comedy legend. Here is George Carlin, everybody. Welcome back.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
It's a pleasure to have you.
Thank you. Feeling good?
You look great. You look very nice.
Yeah, well, I'm just getting over a touch of anthrax, but I feel okay.
Really?
And the cholera came back.
So you've had some medical problems?
Yeah, but I look good. And like you say, I look good. And that's all that counts.
That's really all that matters.
My mother used to say that. She'd say, doesn't matter, I don't care how you feel as long as you look all right. She had a kind of a wisdom, you know.
I think that's true.
Well, the thing is, I'm 63 now. But that's 17 Celsius. So, you know,
Doesn't make any sense.
yeah.
So that's pretty good. You're only
When I go to-
17 Celsius.
When I go to Canada, I feel really young. You
I
know?
would think so, sure.
And had a lot of tests, though.
Oh, you had some
I know
testing?
I'm doing okay because you know, we both had heart stuff. And
Yeah. Are you a bit of a hypochondriac?
Not at all.
Really?
Not at all. No, but I watch things and I act on them when I see them. They give you, they recommend a breast exam now for men as well. Yeah, there's apparently some need for the breast exam, and I had that. They found a little lump, but you know what? Piece of broccoli. Piece of broccoli. Yeah.
You had a piece of broccoli stuck in your breast.
I was in a lot of food fights in the 70s.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, in the 70s, forget about it.
Yeah, of course. But while I was in there, I wanted to tell you about these. Something you might be interested in. While I was in there, I overheard something.
Yeah.
I was in a semi-private room. The guy next to me, it was last minute, you know.
Oh,
I'd rather be alone.
Of course I would.
I'd rather be alone. But this guy, he wasn't any bother. He had a huge bandage, practically around his whole head.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, like his whole head. I couldn't see him all the way. And there was a little bit of oxygen place, you know. And his brother, apparently it was his brother, came in and was talking to him. It was just the weirdest thing. The brother says, Jeff, I'm going to do it, kind of remember it for you, okay?
Mm-hmm. Okay, sure.
He says, Jeff, your skull is healing very nicely. It's healing very nicely, but they're going to have to reset it. So basically that means they're going to have to break it again.
Right.
And reset it, because it looks odd. Yeah, it looks odd. They said it looks funny. The nurses were laughing.
Well, that ain't right.
No. He says, the doctors will be in a few minutes. There's 6 of them. They said they want you to not move around a lot when they're using the hammers.
Oh, hammers.
Yeah.
Several hammers.
Because they can't use an anesthetic. It's dangerous.
Oh.
So I want you to hold on real tight to the edge of the bed. And try to relax.
Relax is the key.
Key thing.
That would be the
in
key.
any medical procedure.
That's right.
And then this is the twist, though. Then he says, by the way, Jeff, while they got your head open, they're going to put some fire ants in there.
Fire ants?
Just a few. He said, just a few. He was reassuring him, you know. And he says, the fire ants have been given PCP. It's kind of an experimental thing.
Wow.
Something new they're doing, yeah.
It sounds kind of primitive to me, though.
Oh, it's the kind of thing you don't want to hear when you're
No,
whether you're him or me.
Exactly, that's right.
Either person.
Can't be good news for anybody.
No.
Now, Did you happen to see the Academy Awards? I bet you watched them.
Yeah. And, I'm just not very good at picking movies, I guess. Yeah. I had a favorite that wasn't even nominated. I don't know what happened, and I thought it had a good chance because it was about a guy with a medical condition.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and that's always big. That's an automatic Oscar.
I think so.
Rain Man, Love Story, My Left Foot, you know, automatic.
Yeah, sure.
And this was a thing called Get Off My Back. Yeah, it was about a pair of Siamese twins. And, yeah, well, let me tell you. It's really odd. Where do you hear the story?
A documentary or?
No, this is a fictional film, a feature. Yeah. Feature. A pair of Siamese twins, and one of them commits suicide. Oh. And the other, and he has it in his will that he's not to be separated even after death.
Yeah.
So the brother has to basically carry him around.
Oh my goodness.
And he doesn't like that. Because they didn't get along. Uh-huh. They were both in love with the same double mint twin.
Double mint twins.
So there's bad blood, you might say.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah. So that got nothing, not a nomination.
Not a sign of it last night, nor in the nominations. Then there was a foreign language film I was interested in. That was it's a German film with Swiss subtitles. It's
no, wait a minute. What?
Yeah,
Swiss.
Well,
Swiss.
It's just odd.
Yeah, it's Swiss. Really?
My tastes are eclectic.
That's strange.
It's called Hansel.
Uh-huh.
And basically, it's the story of Hansel and Gretel without Gretel. Yeah. In this thing, well.
Oh, wait a minute. Hansel?
Yeah, without Gretel. She's not in there. What happens in this version, she dies, unfortunately, at childbirth, and so it's an in-depth study of Hansel alone. Mm-hmm. Kind of thing you would have called an art film years ago. Yeah. Documentary. You mentioned that. This is one you probably liked. Walking. Did you see Walking?
I saw
Well,
it. No.
partially filmed in Indiana.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's my home state forever.
I know that. And I was there recently. I saw the headline, Elk Scandal Widens. That was the headline. I sent you that. I guess you never got it. That was that, yeah. Same day they were making peace in the Middle East. Anyway.
The headline.
Elk Scandal Widens. Top
Page
of the
one. Yeah.
top. But on this documentary, it's called Walking. It's a story of a guy who takes a long walk from Vincennes, Indiana.
Oh, I know where that is.
To Durango, Colorado.
Yeah.
And along the way, nothing happens. So it's basically a nice story about how little can happen on a long walk.
I see. Does he go out I-70?
Yeah, right out 70. You know the area.
All right. We'll be right back here with our friend George Carlin, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen,
Freezing.
George, will you be writing more books? How many books have you actually published? Quite a few.
Well, I have some of them are under a different name, but the Brain Droppings was the big one.
It was a huge hit, wasn't it?
That was under
bestseller.
Yeah, 700,000 of them.
Wow.
And the follow-up to that comes out in April, by the way.
Mm-hmm. What is that going to be?
Napalm and Silly Putty, same kind of book.
Really?
Yeah, same kind of book, but it'll be out late April. But I've been involved in a long-term thing, a long-term project, and I mentioned this here once before. I don't want to repeat myself, so I'll tell you, I'll pick it up where it was.
Okay.
This is something I'm humble just to even talk about it, but I'm writing a sequel to the Bible. It's a sequel, yeah.
And did somebody ask you to write this?
No, it was self-generated.
Really?
Yeah. I just decided.
Churches came to you or anything?
No, they did not. No, nowhere near me.
Just on your own?
On my own, and I'm right. This will be the first version of the Bible written all in chapstick. That's what I'm doing. It's grape chapstick.
Grape.
I work in grape. And we found some books, because the good names were all taken in the first Bible, you know. Nebuchadnezzar, guys like that. Yeah. So we have the Book of Linda, we found that. The Book of Linda. Book of Julio. And the Book of Debbie. And oddly enough, that's Debbie with an I.
Is that right?
Yeah. So they had vision, even in those days. There was vision.
And I think religious scholars all over the world are waiting.
Yeah, we're going to call it The Bible Rides Again. I thought you'd like that. But I have written a lot of things under a pen name. You know my pen name?
No.
Ballpoint. It's real cute, you know? Jimmy Ballpoint.
Jimmy Ballpoint.
Jimmy Ballpoint. And I wrote a lot of advice books. Some of them were big hits. People don't know it was me. Eat, Run, Stay Fit, and Die Anyway.
I remember that.
Right.
That was a big, big seller.
See, they know.
Yeah.
They know the book. They know the book. Then there was, these are kind of advice books, you know. The stains in your shorts can indicate your future. That was not as big a seller.
I can understand that.
Yeah. And I've written a lot of how-to books.
Oh.
When I got in on that craze. But there's so many of them. If you mind if I glance?
Oh, no, sure.
How to make 2 small hats out of a brassiere. And the follow-up, how to make a brassiere out of 2 small hats.
I can see where it would work either way, yeah.
How to kill a rat with a paper clip. You could use that here because you got that problem.
Yeah.
How to make a small salad out of your work pants.
Work pants.
Yeah, it's really
small salad.
Very, very limited sales.
Yeah.
How to fillet a panda. It's kind of a cooking thing. Yeah. Well, you got to know. So some people
Yeah, you might have to know, of course.
How to lease out the space inside your nose.
That can be done.
Yeah.
Some kind of a government grant, I'll bet.
You have to get a license.
Yeah.
And on top of the how-to books, I says, well, that craze is running out. I go to why, because how-to, why.
Yeah.
And we got a why book. Why you should never yodel during an electrical storm. Apparently there's been some deaths.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Were they Swiss?
There were 2 Swiss guys, oddly enough, with German T-shirts. Why you should never mambo with a policeman. I don't know why I did that.
Well, that
one.
just makes perfect
Yeah.
sense.
And why you should never give yourself a neck operation, but that's about the extent.
Well, I think it's just a matter of getting to it there. It'd be awkward.
With a mirror,
Even with a mirror, forget it.
Reverse
Unless
image.
you're Annie Oakley or something.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
Now, what kind of and I think I probably know the answer to this, but as a child, were you kind of unusual as a child?
I was off.
Off, yeah.
They would say, he's off. They would look at me and they say, he's off.
Oh.
They say, he's not playing with a full bag of jacks.
Yeah. Why do you think?
Well, first of all, my mother carried me very low. For the last 6 weeks. Well, yeah. No, my feet were sticking out the last 6 weeks. I swear. Swear to God.
Is that
Yeah. She was the only woman in the neighborhood had maternity shoes. And then, do you see this little fold? I got a little fold in my ear. It's not as prominent as it was, kind of folded over a little. Right. The doctor said that happened because right at the moment of conception, my parents fell off the hood of the car.
Oh.
So I wasn't right.
Well, that's more emotionally traumatizing probably than anything.
Yeah.
Really. Yeah.
And you know how your father would throw you up in the air and catch you?
Sure, yeah.
Mine would walk away. Walk away.
Throw you up and then take a hike.
Yeah, so I was off.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah. It turned me into a loner.
Yeah.
Just like Rodney, I'm there, you know.
But you've done all right, I think.
Yeah, I'm okay. I'm doing good.
Yeah.
But I had an imaginary friend. I didn't bother with him.
Really?
No. Hell with him. Let him get his own friends.
The hell with your imaginary
I don't need people like that.
Yeah.
That's right.
That makes some sense, I guess.
I wasn't very good with girls. You know how you play doctor?
Oh, yeah.
I would always find something wrong with them. I found an aneurysm once, another time. Hypertrophic cardiomyopathy.
Well, you're saving lives, though. That's something for
Get this girl to the hospital.
Yeah, that's
Put her on a trike and get her over there.
Now, is there anything you want to mention upcoming before?
Laugh.com.
Laugh.com.
I want to talk about Laugh.com. Laugh.com is a website I'm involved with. It's for comedy, for and by and of comedians. Right. And there's a special posting going up right now. It's about what I'm thinking while I'm sitting here. Yeah, it's just going up. If someone goes to Laugh.com, they'll find out a little thing I'm doing. I say, dear people out there. And
this is what you're really thinking.
What's going through my mind.
Well, I'll be there.
And a little report. Oh, you're going to love it.
Good to see you.
It's nice to see you.
Thank you very much.
Dave.
George Carlin, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be right back with Powderfinger. That sounded great. Fantastic. Thank you
very much. Not that bad.
I like that Richard Harris. I would love to be picked up in a bar when I'm 70.
Boy, I'll say, yeah.
And tonight, I realized that our guests on the show tonight look alike.
we realize that over here, too, yeah.
It's interesting, isn't it?
Let's get the next one out.
Our next guest is a true comedy legend and looks a lot like our first guest. Tomorrow night, his 12th HBO special, Complaints and Grievances, airs live from the Beacon Theater here in New York City. Here's George Carlin, everybody.
Thank you. Thank you very much. The wisest man I ever knew told me something I never forgot. And although I never forgot it, I never quite memorized it either. So what I'm left with is having heard something really wise that I can't recall. That's all right. There's a new roach spray on the market. It doesn't kill the roaches, but it fills them with self-doubt as to whether or not they're in the right house. Want to have some fun? Go into a gift shop and ask for your gift. If you have chicken at lunch, and then for some reason you've had chicken again at dinner time, do you ever wonder if the two chickens knew each other? That's all right? Thank you. Some people see the glass as half empty. Some people see the glass as half full. I see the glass as too big. You know you have a drinking problem when you kill a man over a disagreement about Wheel of Fortune. Perhaps you read this in the newspaper recently concerning the 2000 census. They said that during that census, 1.6% of the population was not counted. How do they know that? Now you got You know how you get out of jury duty? Tell the judge the truth. Tell him you'll make a really good juror because you can spot guilty people just like that. Tell him it all depends on how far apart their eyes are. I was in a public restroom the other day, had to use the handicap stall. When I came out, someone said to me, "Are you handicapped?" I said, "Not anymore." If a really stupid person becomes senile, how do they know? You know you're in a small town when the restaurant closes at lunchtime so the waitress can go home and eat. Want to have a little fun? Stand on line at the bank for a really long time. When you finally get up to the window, just ask for change of a nickel. They actually call other employees over to look at you. You know you're in the wrong store when you look up on the wall and see one of your personal checks displayed as the reason they don't take personal checks. If you had only one tooth left, would you brush it for a really long time? Here's how you get rid of counterfeit money. Put it in the collection plate at church. Yeah, they don't care. They give it to blind people. My mother was a woman of rare common sense. She once said to me, "If the shoe fits, get another one just like it." Here's something not broadly known. George Washington's brother was the uncle of our country. Doing fine. You know what would be a lot of fun? Be a contestant on Jeopardy and just never buzz in. You know? Just stand there half an hour staring at the other two people. That'd be fun. Go into a gun store, buy a gun, then buy some ammunition, then ask them if they have any ski masks. You ever notice in some hotels they give you a little sewing kit? You know what I do? I sew the towels together.
Letterman, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be right back. Thank you very much, George. Great stuff.
Thank you.
Very funny as always.
What a great audience tonight.
And this is the soundtrack from your HBO show that people will be able to buy later in December, I guess.
December 11th, the HBO show in audio form. It'll be in the stores.
And the show itself, again, it's your 12th, and it's Saturday night on HBO.
Yes, 10 o'clock.
Oh, I know it'll be a big success. Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much.
Thanks very
George
much.
Carlin, everybody. Thanks to Richard Harris and, of course, Regis and his staff from Regis and Kelly Live. We'll see you Monday with Kevin James and Deion Sanders. Have a great weekend. Good night, everybody.
My head hurts.